On this episode of Pennies Going in Raw, we interview ThiccTeddy. Let's go.
Hey, yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav in the building for the Atlas crew.
Atlas Trading, what the fuck is up?
There are traders, there are prodigies, and then there's legends.
We're up 4%, baby.
No way.
4 fucking percent. Buy the fucking dip.
Hey, who told me about IDEX?
Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, someone just made, like, a lot more money than me on my trade.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Did you check the portfolio?
Pennies. The margin for error is so small.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
And they out there making money right now off of penny stocks.
Them two guys is putting in work to make y'all rich.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Time to think big.
Pennies Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity Dips,
and Hugh Honey.
Produced by Vinny Strokes, baby.
Welcome back to another Pennies Going in Raw. Today is March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And this episode of Pennies Going in Raw is brought to you by Benzinga. Benzinga is our absolute favorite resource to trade with besides our broker. We use it for news, scanners, and chart. We use it for everything. It's the absolute best, but that's not all they have. They also have their YouTube channel, which is live streaming every single trading day with Hot Stocks Luke, and they have great guests ranging from CEOs of stocks you trade to the CEOs of the brokers you trade with to the people you follow on Twitter. Make sure to join them. That's youtube.com/Benzinga. And today we have on just a good dude from the community, ThiccTeddy. Thanks for hopping on. I know it's last minute, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'm happy to be here.
So I know we always kind of start this thing off the same way. Yeah, make sure you get a sip of your beer before you go in. You're probably nervous.
Oh
It's
yeah,
okay.
a little bit. I got my COVID vaccine today.
How was it? What? Any side effects? Any
I
third
got a
shoulder?
headache,
fourth
man.
arm? Oh yeah.
Got a little weird arm feeling, but that's about it.
Well, dude, you're helping us get back to normal. So obviously,
I guess so.
everyone appreciates it. But we always kind of start this off the same way. Obviously last year, super crazy year for trading. Were you trading before that? How'd you start trading? And then what was it like kind of transitioning to 2020 and then finally your aha moment to where you are today?
Yeah, so I started trading right about 2-ish years ago, probably a little over 2 years ago. And I started paper trading was how I did it. A buddy and I, we were like driving home and he was talking about like some weird trading oil barrels type of thing that makes no sense now that I actually know what trading is about. But so these oil barrels got me super, I was like, okay, I can buy oil, I can buy commodities, all this stuff got me into like looking at companies and stuff. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And then for a while, I didn't realize what paper trading was. I was like, thought it was like a weird game that I found online type of thing. Like I was like, okay, I'm buying companies, but like, I don't really get what this is. And then about like a month in, I was like, okay, like if I wanted to, I could switch to real money. And then I like paper traded for 2 more months, basically just like messing around, not doing much. And I put like a couple $100 in and then lost all of it really quickly. And then was like, okay, I'm going to do this for real. So then I started like actually like looking at videos, looking at like Google articles, stuff like that.
How was your paper trading going prior to really trading with real money? And were you noticing crazy gains on paper trading? And then whenever you switched to real money, it was totally, so you were losing on paper trading.
I lost all my, dude, I think I like blew up like 3 accounts because there's like no, I don't know, psychology to paper trading. It's literally just fake money. So like, I don't care about it. So I was just like, I don't know what I was doing, but absolutely the wrong things, I guess. I didn't know what I was doing at all.
That's crazy because like just the fact that you're like, okay, now I'm gonna put in some real money and you're a young guy. You're what, 22?
21.
21. So a couple years ago, you're 19. Couple $100 isn't anything to scoff at.
Yeah. And like the reason why I decided to put more money in or like real money in was because I was like, okay, if I actually have something on the line here, like, I think I'll actually try harder and like do my research before buying something. And like, it did work, but it took a while.
So you've transitioned, you lost your 200, you've decided to put some more in, and because obviously paper trading didn't work out, couple hundred didn't work out. So now the next logical step is obviously to put in, I guess, how much is it? And then where does that go?
Yeah, I mean, you dump in $4,200 if you're in my case.
Where did this money come from? Just random college jobs or
just jobs I piled
Okay.
up for a while. I was like, okay, my savings isn't doing anything. I'm not gaining anything on that 1 cent interest over a year or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw it in. I threw it in, and then I think I was down 50%. I like got down to like 2,000 something. And I was like, okay, I'm like really, really tired of losing all this. And then I started like, I don't know, I followed some Twitter calls, followed some people who actually had like real DD on things.
And what year is this? Just to kind of give like a time frame. Now like month and year now.
I think this is late 2018 or early 2019.
Okay, so you're still like a year and a half before the time everyone's like, you could have put in whatever money you wanted then and became a millionaire. You know,
pretty much. Tesla calls, man. Pretty much. And yeah, that was basically when I started seeing some like halfway decent DD online and stuff. I was like on Reddit and on like Reddit investing, Reddit stocks and stuff. And like, I started messing around a little bit, and I hadn't even told anyone that I was doing anything yet. So I was just seeing how DD like worked and how you'd actually do it and stuff. And then I got hooked on it and just started doing it all the time. And then it became fun, and free time became doing DD time type stuff.
So you're mainly a DD swing trader kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you before you realized that you were a swing trading DD kind of guy? Did PDT ever kind of get in your way? Just kind of like some of the bumps along the road. Like what were those like for you?
I realized I was a swing trader definitely just from the beginning, just because honestly, that's what
you were talking about it at the start, and you said I'm investing in companies. It wasn't like, hey, I'm doing this because it goes up. I mean, it sounded like from off rip, you knew how you were eventually going to trade. It was
I knew I wanted to like look at companies and actually do like real stuff with companies and like what they did and that kind of stuff. And I think it really started because that's what I had to do when I was under like pattern day trade. Like I couldn't day trade under there so much. I had 3 a week, so I was kind of stuck actually having to like find things that I thought were going to keep going up for more than a few days. And then that even like nowadays, sometimes I don't like during some weeks, I don't even use more than 3 day trades, like even now. Like, so that's just how I roll kind of is just the swing trading. I do scalp like mornings and stuff now more than I ever have, but I just stick to the swings majority of the time.
You're kind of an interesting case study in a sense. Like it almost seems like you never caught the case of FOMO or anything like. Were there any like big trades you lost on as a DD trader that was just looking back on it was just silly? And can you kind of
So when COVID hit and all the retail traders flocked with their money, I'll be the first one to admit, I mean, this is embarrassing, but I got caught up in the UAVS Amazon. I got hammered by the whole that conference call where they were like, okay, yeah, this is definitely where they're going to announce their Amazon partnership. And then their CEO resigned, and I got smacked by that. I remember I was like, in it quite heavy, like pretty heavy. Cause I was like, okay, everything is lining up. Everything seems like it's going to work out here. And no, then their CEO stepped down and it halted down immediately.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like that play just seems so perfect, and you just see how it turned out. Kind of coming into today, how long did it take you to become successful? Like you said, like you put in the $1,000, you realized your strategy was just off the bat, and your DD was that good, and like is your like college degree that you're working towards anything about like doing due diligence on companies? Like, for example, the only one guy I knew just started trading stocks, the best DDer like I've ever met, and it was because he was the vice president of an insurance company. you know, and like somehow he killed it. So it was like,
yeah.
How did you kind of just start as this DD guy?
Yeah, so I mean, when I first started doing it, I sucked at it. I mean, looking back, sometimes I have a couple files from like beginning of my trading of like stuff that I thought was important, and I look back on it and I'm like, this is what I spent my time thinking about, was these parts of these companies, and it's not anything like what I do now. And I would say it took me probably like 6 to 8 months to even really get a grasp on like what's the most important parts of like looking into a company, like looking into their filings and stuff. I didn't look into filings for 4 months. I had no idea that there even SEC existed for 4 months. I was like, what are these weird 8K things? What are these like
doesn't know that
these things going? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah. Sorry, I muted myself. I was like, a trader that doesn't know what the SEC is, like a crack addict that doesn't know what cops are.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering what all these things were, and like, what is an offering? Like 4 months into trading, I was like, what is an offering? And then like I finally started to come around with all these things, and like it slowly came, but it took like 6 months for sure. And then my degree has absolutely nothing to do with finance. I'm a psychology major. So I do look into like psychology of trading quite a bit, but like other than that, my major doesn't even really correlate. I email professors trying to get into like market classes, and they're like, what do you mean? Like, you don't have any of the prereqs, so I can't even get into any. But
it's definitely just one of those things where it's like, what can you do? But what are you gonna do with your degree? Why are you still like in college? I mean, people ask you this all the time.
Yeah, I get that question. Why don't you just drop out and do this full time? I would, but I just like, if I ever get to a point in my life where, because stocks fulfill me a lot right now, being like the whole ThiccTeddy on Twitter and stuff is really fulfilling to me. Like getting DMs and stuff, really cool. But if I ever get to a point in my life where like that isn't as like what I like need more from life or something, I don't know, I would want to go to master's school and become like a counselor or therapist. That's what I also want to open practices eventually using investing money and stuff like that. But that's a whole other conversation.
Is trading just something you do to fulfill other passions? Or, I mean, you clearly are very passionate about this, but like, is this main goal, or is this essentially just side goal for the rest?
Trading is main goal for sure. Like trading will be like, is what I want to do for the rest of my life for sure. And I will do it the rest of my life. It's just, I want college to be a side goal in case like I get to a point where I don't want to like, I can do my trading in a few days a week, and then I need something else to do to help like get the emotional fulfillment I need. Then I can like move on to like doing master's school, becoming a therapist, doing that kind of stuff, trying to get a PhD, whatever I want to do. But trading is definitely the goal.
Okay, and kind of moving on from like trading, kind of transitioning to your Twitter presence. I had noticed you on Twitter for a while. It was whenever I was at like probably 30,000, and you were at around 600. And you'd always tag us, and
I tagged all of you.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive marketing strategy. I really didn't even pay much attention to it until I was browsing some Reddit threads, and I remember this adjective to this day. It said, "Your calls are biblical."
That might be the nicest thing I've ever heard. My calls are biblical.
They said biblical, and I was like, damn, like and that was whenever I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this guy a little seriously. And that's whenever I started having you on my daily dips, and all of that was a lot of fun back then.
Yeah.
So you're still doing your TED Talks.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Where did I don't watch Bob's Burgers, so I don't know the relation between you and Incredible Bob in theory, but where did this inspiration come from, and why TED?
Yeah, so I do like Bob's Burgers a lot.
I should watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you like Archer and that kind of stuff, like it's super good. But I like Bob's Burgers a lot, and Teddy, he cracks me up every time he's on the screen. Like, he's just stupid, and his voice is hilarious, and they always do the stupidest shit. So I don't know. I didn't even to be honest, when I made it, I was about to delete my account after like a week because my friend found it and was making fun of me for it. Like, oh, 4 followers, you like stupid dude. Like, what are you doing? Posting about I was like back when Ship was, I don't know, running around or whatever. Why are you posting about Ship? Like, you stupid, like it's a shipper, like all this stuff. So I was going to delete it. And then I was like, okay, I don't really care what it is. So then I just made it ThiccTeddy because I was like, okay, Thick is kind of funny. Some people might think it's a little funny. Teddy's a hilarious
Very 2018, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of, man, it was whatever I wanted to do. And now it's just, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's definitely so fun. It sucks when people start to take it seriously. I mean, when people start to lose money, though. I mean,
oh yeah,
root of all evil, man. People lose it, they get crazy. You know,
they blame. That's the name of the game.
Is this the first time you're showing your face?
Yeah, this is the first time people see my face.
This is the face reveal. Wow, that's crazy.
ThiccTeddy face reveal right here, everybody.
Yeah, dude. No, yeah. I mean, it's you know, enjoy it. Like, obviously, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, is this movement of retail traders is crazy. I know it's so played out, but I mean, you see what happened with the brokers, with Robinhood and everything, and all that. It's like,
yeah.
Where do you think we go from here, and how do you think that whole scenario? Because I love to hear other people's opinion on the whole GameStop thing. It's such a big fiasco. I think it can bring up so many different opinions. Just from like you're drunk talking at a bar. What your thoughts on the whole thing? Someone says GameStop. You heard about that?
Yeah. Let me think on it for a second. GameStop. I loved the whole
the movement.
Yeah, I loved the whole like squeeze the shorts and F over the funds and all that stuff, and institutions who like laughed at us during the housing crash and stuff. I thought that was awesome and stuff. I started to turn to kind of thinking it was a little more, I don't know, I don't want to say negative, because in the movement and all, it was awesome. Like, it was sweet to see like all these hedge fund managers and stuff crying on CBN or whatever it was and stuff. That was awesome.
That Daddy Have Two Zipples video, man, that one is fucking prime.
Yeah. All those were great. And then it just became the diamond hands was what really got me like, okay, like you guys need to like relax a little maybe, because a lot of people bought top and a lot of people got hurt there. And like, that's one thing that like, I don't ever tell any of my followers is like, hold like basically I don't tell them hold the line ever, because if you want to sell when you're up 500% on a stock, like I would be the first one to sell if I'm up 10% on a stock. So like hold the line, I'm just not a fan of, but the whole movement and like together I thought was cool.
Yeah, I feel like the movement itself, great idea. Attack plan, terrible. You know, you can't tell everyone to hold the line up thousands of percent and not expect like everyone's just gonna be okay. Yeah, everyone else, all these other millions of strangers are gonna. No one trusts that. And, you know, it just caused so much loss, and it's one of those things where traders just have to be so fluid and be able to just keep moving on.
Yeah, you got to trade your own plan every time. Like you just have to. If you make money, then take your money and run.
So kind of moving on from you starting to put in, you put in your money, you got good. What was 2020 like for you? Obviously you said you had the UAVS thing, but
yeah,
everyone turned their small accounts into huge accounts. Then what was your padding situation like? How did you pad your money up for the rest of your life? And what were some of those wins? And what do you think is going to change from like that style?
Yeah. So going into 2020, my account was doing pretty well because I hit a really nice groove. Like after that 6 months where I started, like I said earlier, it took the 6 months. And so I hit a good groove. And I think I won't talk exact numbers because I'm kind of private. I'm real weird about that. But
how much fucking money are you making, dude?
Yeah. Actually, I have this much in my account. No, but so I started with like the 4,000, and I think within like I don't remember. I think I was over pattern day trading in like another few months, and then by the end of that like first year, by like the start of 2020, I was well over pattern day trade, and I was like kind of like just cruising. Like I wasn't going up like mega percents, but then 2020 hit, and the first few months were like pretty good. And then that crash happened, and I got absolutely so lucky with the crash.
Yeah, I was about to just say is that most swing traders and just longer term traders, they got rolled during. I mean, even I, as like just a newer trader, got rolled.
Yeah, so I was like, I remember I had just closed out like 3 of my biggest swings, like based on like portfolio size and positioning. They were some of my bigger swings ever. I think I had like a third of my portfolio in all of them, and I closed them out like weeks before we started that like I don't know what it was, pullback and then huge crash. And like I remember I was sitting mostly cash. I obviously lost like money, obviously, like everyone did. But then after that, I had enough money to buy the bottom, and it just rolled from there. And we got thousands of percent last year.
Yeah, dude, I think last year was just, yeah, sorry, I kept muting. Yeah, dude, I think last year was just one of those years where it was like, we're going to look back on, and every time just be like, damn it, why didn't I take a $500,000 loan out and just go crazy?
Max my credit cards and
do everything, man. I mean, but obviously, you know, hey, pun alert, 2020 hindsight, we all would have. But yeah, I mean, now 2020 is in the past. 2021, you've had your rocky weeks, but also, you know, there's been the same crazy weeks. SPY's pushing 400.
Yeah.
What do you see for the market coming up? I know you're probably, I don't want you to spoil any of your TED Talks. I know those are sacred to you. But what do you kind of see for the market coming up? Do you see us bursting through 400?
I've been thinking, looking at a lot of like zones and charts and stuff, and I think Brady from Atlas has a really good analysis of it, and I think we might hit 400 to 410 like he thinks, and then we might see a pullback again, and it might be a deeper pullback. So I'm kind of playing it that way, but I don't want to. I'll get hedges. I'll think about getting into some hedges over 400. But right now, I'm just riding it out until we hit 400. That's my plan, at least. And if I get burned for it, I get burned for it.
Yeah, man. I felt like yesterday it was super. It felt shaky, even like just the big drop. And even though it recovered, man, it still felt shaky. And
it felt real shaky, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's like people are like, says the market feels shaky, down 50 cents. But yeah, it's like it's not. I didn't just do, hey Siri, what's the price on SPY?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, this looks shaky. No, I mean, it's like just the way it feels. It's a gut feeling. I'm a big gut feeling trader.
Me too. Yeah.
And just those things where it's like you feel it, and you know, we could break 400, go to 410 right now, you know, by the end of the week. But also, you know, it was just one of those weeks where it just felt like, you know, I should have some cash on hand. I should have a lot of cash on hand. And if not, you know, if I miss 5% of a play, I miss it. But you know, this being able to wake up in the morning and not fear, you know, checking your phone, you know, not
is actually great.
It's amazing. You know, a lot of my mornings used to just be like, I grab my phone, you know, I'd fail the Face ID twice because, you know, I just woke up. I'd enter my password. I'd be like, oh God, another day climbing back. Because of fucking SPACs. So it's definitely interesting to see where it'll go. I guess my last question. Well, I got 2 more. One, 2021, 2022 for ThiccTeddy. What is it, man? You graduating? You burning the place down? You turning up? What's going on?
So I'm graduating in the fall. So I'll have one more semester once fall hits. Graduating.
All Zoom classes?
Yeah, I think fall will be in person, but for right now, I'm all like Zoom and WebEx. But I'll graduate, and then I want to move somewhere crazy with my girlfriend. So I want to because right now I'm in Iowa, man, and it is
corn isn't
Corn, fields, and random parties on gravel roads is the amount of fun we have on Saturday nights. So
the occasional campfire, those are nice.
Yeah, the bonfire with the full trees and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, hey man, South Alabama, I know the vibe, I know the feeling. It's not great. But what are those top 3 locations? I'm thinking Houston, maybe like Miami. These are mine. Houston, Miami. LA seemed too expensive. Everyone's already moving out of there. Maybe get one of their houses on the cheap.
Yeah.
And I don't like the cold, so that's another one. So
yeah, so I'm thinking I like Washington and Oregon. So thinking about one of those because they're basically like Northern California without all the crazy prices and stuff. I like wilderness. So I'm like a weird like outdoorsy guy. So I want to do either like Denver,
without all the
like Colorado. No, the Democrats. I want to do Colorado, like Denver. I want to do either like Washington or like Northern California, or I would like Texas is dope too. Texas, you can get some good stuff for cheap down there. I'm thinking that could be one of them too.
Okay, so South Alabama and on the list, but yeah, I mean, like Houston is definitely one of these places, and somewhere in Florida, like I could definitely.
And South Alabama, a close fourth.
Dude, if you ever get poor, instead of being homeless in Los Angeles, being in a 4-bedroom house in Alabama, I promise you is a lot better.
All right, I'll drop down there.
Yeah, they're the same prices. A parking spot. Whenever I went to Hugh's place in New Jersey, one thing we realized, the parking spot was the exact same as my rent after utilities.
Holy crap.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Okay, well, my last one, new traders coming in. They hopped in GameStop. You know, they felt the gambling aspect of it. They loved it. They want to get involved. Give them a tip. What's the tip?
My tip for those new investors who are gonna put their
first day of school, man.
Stimulus in it.
They just
I'm gonna say learn how the market works before you put all your money in. Like, just if it's one share or something at a time and you're just buying little and little, just learn how the market works instead of just throwing it all into GameStop or something.
So risk management?
Yeah,
allocation
risk management,
of portfolio?
Yeah, like diversify, manage your risk and just Google shit. Like, that's how I began, is I just like read so many articles on Google, watched so many YouTube videos of people telling me different things, and then finally figured out what works for me. So just use Google and use the internet to your full capability would be what I'd say.
All right, man. I love it. Thank you so much for joining. Obviously, this is a huge help for us. Very last minute. And yeah, I mean, I think that's all there is, unless there's anything else you got.
No, I don't got much. I just thank you for having me on.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you later. Thanks again so much. Really appreciate it. Take care.
Yep. See you guys.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Pennies Going In Raw. And make sure you guys go to manscaped.com and use code PGIR for 20% off. I promise your boys will thank you down there. You get them clean. You get them smelling good. You get the ladies. I don't know if there's any. Can I make it any more straightforward? You go to manscaped.com, use code PGIR, and your boys will thank you. I mean, that's all there is to it. You shave it, you get it clean. That's all there is. PGIR, that's the code. Thank you guys for listening to another episode. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on Sunday. Happy St. Paddy's Day.